Welcome, everybody. This is Peaceful here. We got a new series for you here on the Peaceful Sea Snap channel. So we are going to be going over every week. I'm going to post this video. Y'all let me know if this is content you like. I'm going to go over basically the new card coming out that week, as well as the different bundles that are hitting. I'm not going to go over any of the little micro bundles like the Premium Mystery Variant bundles or the bundles for tickets. Those are generally not great value, but I will cover the bigger bundles coming out each week. Y'all let me know in the comments if this is content you enjoy, and I'll keep doing it. And if not, then this will probably be the only one. So make sure you are hitting the like button if this is content you like, hitting the subscribe button so I know that this is content you enjoy, that this is content that brings you back, and I will keep making it. That is how this works. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this week's topic, which is Havok and the Christmas bundles. So here we go. First up, we have Havok. He is a 2-cost 0 power that says after each turn, you lose 1 max energy and this gains +4 power. Now, this is exactly what it sounds like. This is a stat stick. You play this, and then each turn you're going to get 4 power, which is a pretty good deal until you think about the fact that once you play this card, you will no longer gain energy per turn. This basically counteracts whatever energy you're gaining that turn. So if you play this on turn 2, you will never have more than 2 energy no matter what you do, which is a pretty bad deal. To be perfectly honest, that's not the way you want to play this card. There are certain synergies that we can go over for this card that do give it kind of use cases that I think might be a little bit interesting. So negative decks and Ravona decks, this is in Ravona, this is a 1-cost 0 power, or a 1-cost 4 power on the last turn, or a 1-cost 8 power on turn, well, basically like a 2-cost 8 power on turn 5, which both sound like pretty good deals to me. So if you think about it from that perspective, yes, that does limit your max energy on turn 5 or on turn 6, but overall, that is a pretty fantastic deal. This is also really good in negative decks because first off, once you play Mr. Negative, you don't really need much energy. So if you draw, even if you draw this on say turn 4, right after ramping out your Mr. Negative, it is going to be a 0-cost 2, and then you play it on 4, so then it goes to 6, 5, it goes to 10, 6, it goes to 14. That's a pretty good deal. Math right on that. 4, 8, 12. Yeah, totally did. So, pretty good deal. Even if you play it just on the last turn as a 0-cost 6 power, that's still pretty good. It's just a nice way to ramp up the negative decks, but also give them a little bit more consistency. Obviously, you can play a deck that is both Ravona and negative and get the double discount or the double bonus from it, get 2 cards that synergize with it. Probably the best home, in my opinion. The other thing a lot of people have talked about is gifting this to your opponent with Viper. And that to me seems less good. It is definitely something people are going to try, and it's going to be super annoying when it does actually work. But you also got to think about, say, turn 2, they play Havok. So then turn 3, they only have 2 energy. If they have the Viper, they Viper over the Havok to you. At that point, it is already 4 power. At the end of your turn, it'll go to 8. Turn 4, it'll go to 12. Turn 5, it'll go... think about it. You're gifting your opponent like a free lane, basically. Is that a really a strategy you want to do? You're basically locking yourself into having to both play Havok, Viper it, and then either Shang or Shadow King it, which is a huge investment for one lane. That's a lot of the powerful cards that you have in your deck, you suddenly are using just in order to lock down your opponent's energy, which, don't get me wrong, that's a pretty good upside, but depending on the deck, that might not do anything. And that to me is the risk you run with this combo. Now, that said, I'm not saying this isn't going to be something that people do and something that people try. I just don't personally think it'll be very good. You're relying on a lot of pieces to come together, and you're gifting your opponent a pretty strong play. Not to mention, you also will never go up above 5 energy at that point because you did have to skip that one turn where you just had the 2 energy. Now, you could do something like turn 4, Havok plus Viper. So then let's think about that math as well. Turn 4, you play Havok plus Viper, you give it to them. So they have 4 energy, which means they're going to have 4 energy for the rest of the game. And then end of turn 4, get 4 power. End of turn 5, they get 4 power. End of turn 6, they get 4 power. That's 12 power that you just gifted them. And it basically costs them turn 4, turn 5, that's 3 energy. Right? Oh, no, not even. It's 2 energy. Because at the end of turn 4 and the end of turn 5, they lose energy. But the energy they lose at the end of turn 6 doesn't matter because the game's over. So, doesn't seem like the best combo. It seems more cute than anything else. It's kind of reminds me when people were talking about the Martyr and Viper combo. It's yeah, sure, you can give your opponent a 4 power unit, but why? What are you accomplishing? doesn't seem like the best use of your resources. And that's sort of how I feel about the junk style plan in general with Havok. I don't think it's a very good plan. So let's go ahead and go into what do I think is the verdict on this card. Is Havok worth your tokens or not? Now, this really depends, and I'm going to only really say this once throughout, because this is true for the rest of the video as well. This really depends on how much you spend and how big of a player you are in Snap. If you're somebody who's pretty much already collection complete, obviously you're going to just pick this up. I will be picking it up because I'm a content creator and I need to be able to make content on this card and find out for myself whether it's good or not, so I know whether I gave you all good information. But in general, I do not think this is a card you should be picking up. I think this is a card that has very niche use cases. It is not something that is going to be played in a ton of different decks. It's really going to only be played, like I said, in the negative Ravona decks, or for those crazy maniacs who want to just spend half of the game torturing you with this card by giving it to you and then killing it. That's fine. Whatever. I don't think this is a card that's going to see play in a bunch of different decks. It's going to be in those very specific use cases, and unless those are decks that you just really enjoy, and this sounds like something you really want to add to your deck, then I think this is a pretty easy pass. Now, if this was like a series 3, like if at some point this becomes a series 3, they start doing series drops again, go ahead and pick this up, because it does have some cool, unique applications. But as long as it's series 4 or 5, no thank you. It's a hard pass for me. Next up, we're going to go ahead and get into the 2 Christmas bundles that we have this week. I actually am very excited about these. I think they're really, really cool bundles. I actually think both of them have different interesting uses for different types of players. So let's go ahead and get into the first one. This is the Naughty or Nice bundle. It is a $10 bundle. You cannot buy this with gold, but it is a pretty cheap bundle overall. It comes with this Korg variant you see here, him as Santa giving out coal for rocks. I love it. This is probably my new favorite Korg variant. I'm definitely going to be picking this up personally. You also get 250 credits, you get 1,000 gold, and 155 Korg boosters, as well as, and this is my favorite part, you get the Korg and the rock variant. But this is the rock variant that looks like coal that you've been seeing this month for the holiday season, and you get to have a variant for that. I will definitely be trying to get an infinite border on that beauty when I get this bundle. Now, overall, the progression from this is pretty good. If you think about 1,000 gold, you'd spend more than this to get 1,000 gold anyway. So everything else that comes with this is kind of just bonus value. Like, this is a very, very nice bundle. I feel like this is sort of second dinner saying Merry Christmas to everyone. Yes, it still costs $10, but other than really the season pass, this is about as good a value as you're going to get for your money. So I am going to give this a very easy yes to picking this up if you are somebody who spends money on Snap. Now, obviously, if you're a free-to-play player, unfortunately, you cannot get this. But if you're somebody who even if you only spend like maybe $15, $20 a month, maybe you buy the season pass in like one other bundle, this should be the other bundle you're getting. It's just really, really good value. Definitely recommend picking it up. Next up, we're going to go over the Sugar, Spice, and Everything Ice bundle. Oh no, my head's kind of right in the way of Poor Destroyer. There you go. That's Destroyer. It's a very cool Destroyer variant as well as a very cool Sentry variant. I love the Christmas themed variants, and it makes it almost like I have to get it. I generally don't go for the super pricey bundles as much as I go for the medium-sized bundles, but this one's going to be too hard for me to pass up personally. So let's go ahead and go over it. This is the Sugar, Spice, and Everything Ice bundle. It is 7,500 gold, so you can buy this with gold. So if you save up your gold, you don't even have to actually spend real money on this. You'd have to have been saving for a while, but this is something you can get without having to spend actual money on it. It comes with this Sentry variant, this Destroyer variant. Again, these are some of the Winter Vacation variants. The Winter Vacation variants are one of my favorite series in all of Snap. They've all ended up being really fun, really festive. I love the way you see Sentry trying to build this gingerbread castle, and you got the Void lurking in the background trying to figure out what he's up to. It's just so funny to me. They're just really cool, really cute variants. I really enjoy them. You also, along with that, get quite a bit of resources for those of you trying to level up your collection. You get an Infinity ticket, which that's kind of whatever. Infinity tickets are nice. I like that they've started to include those in some of these bundles. It's kind of like, to me, that should never be the reason you're buying this, because it's something you can get for free in the game pretty easily. But you also get 6,000 collector's tokens, so that's either 2 Series 4 or a Series 5 card. Pretty good deal. You get 7,000 credits. decent amount of credits. And then you get basically enough boosters for each of Sentry and Destroyer to upgrade these cards twice, which is not bad. Then, of course, you also get the avatars for these variants. So you get the Sentry Winter Vacation variant avatar and the Destroyer Winter Vacation variant avatar. Now, let's talk about the value on this, because this is actually a lot of progression. This is, if you look at the actual value that they sell these resources for, this would cost you upwards of $200 to buy if you were to buy all of this stuff straight up, and you get these variants on top of it. So it's a pretty good deal if you're someone who's into, you know, spending like $100 on a Marvel Snap bundle. Like I said, if you're saving up the gold, that is the nice thing about this one. If you were saving up the gold, it's not going to cost you that much. Maybe you have like 5,000 gold and you only have to pick up that little bit extra. Maybe you pick up the Naughty or Nice bundle and get that 1,000 gold from that, and that helps work you towards this one. Just saying. Overall, if you are someone who spends money on Marvel Snap and you spend a decent amount of money like me, then this is a pretty good bundle for you to pick up. I'm going to give it a check mark. Now, again, if you are free to play or someone who's a little bit more conscientious with how much money you spend on a card game, which I totally respect, don't have any issues with that at all, don't think you should have any issue with that at all, then yeah, you're just going to have to pass on this one. It is pretty expensive. But again, even if you are someone who's free to play or doesn't spend as much money, if you are smart with the way you spend your gold and you're saving up gold, then this is something you can pick up and get a lot of value for. So that's why I'm giving this a check, because you don't have to straight up buy it with money. You can also use gold that you've saved up in game that you've earned for free from doing your dailies and stuff like that, that you can get this with. I think this is a pretty good value. I definitely would recommend thinking about picking it up. So that actually draws us to our conclusion for today. I hope that these bundles get you excited, because they definitely got me excited for the holiday season. I love that Marvel Snap does do a little bit of holiday themed stuff for all of us to spice up Christmas. I have almost all of the ones from last year, and I'm excited to pick these up and sort of complete my collection. It's nice to have a Corrigan Rock Slide now that match, and I hope everyone's having a happy holidays. I know Christmas is coming up this week. Don't worry, that does not mean you won't have any content from me. I'm still going to be putting out videos almost daily. Thank you again so much for watching. If you aren't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite bundle is from this month, and I will catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.